Hi everyone, Arnold here, santamuertemagic.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. The topic of today's video is magic versus devotion. If you've been following my work for some time, you will know that I sometimes switch back and forth between talking about these two ideas. The name of my website is santamuertemagic.com, but I'm also the author of the book Santa Muerte Devotion 101. So I'd like to discuss these two ideas, magic versus devotion, and basically explain the differences between the two and also how the two are connected. To illustrate these ideas at the most basic level, let me offer this analogy. The hammer is to the carpenter as magic is to the devotee. Magic is the tool used to accomplish specific outcomes, but devotion describes what a person is. Even when the carpenter is not hammering a nail, even when the carpenter does not have their tools with them, they are still a carpenter. They are a carpenter when they are at work, but also when they are asleep or stuck in traffic. Likewise, magic is the tool which the Santa Muerte devotee employs to achieve specific outcomes. The devotee of Santa Muerte is a devotee at all times, even when they are not practicing magic, even when they are asleep, even when they are stuck in traffic, etc. Hopefully that gives you a rough understanding of the differences and relationship between magic and devotion, at least as far as I see them. More specifically, discussing each idea separately, I like to define magic as the art of focused and intentional change. Santa Muerte magic, therefore, is the art of focused and intentional change that incorporates the symbolism, the imagery, and the power of Santa Muerte as death itself. Magic is a tool. It is not a cure or panacea, and it rarely, if ever, works on its own. Extending the analogy I just introduced of the carpenter and the hammer, magic should be considered one tool of many. You cannot build a house with just a hammer, and you cannot solve all your problems with just magic. You also need a bit of determination and motivation and resilience and emotional support. For me, magic is the thing that gives you the edge, the thing that pushes or increases your overall likelihood of success. Now, I do not know the mechanisms of magic that allow it to give you that edge, whether the edge is entirely subjective and exists only in your mind, or if that edge in some way exists in the objective physical world, albeit unseen and unmeasurable so far. Practically speaking, in my everyday life, magic is a tool I employ to make my life better. Sometimes it makes my life a little better, sometimes it makes my life a lot better, and sometimes it has no effect at all. That is what you get when you practice an art. But I can honestly say that in my experience, magic has never made my life worse, which is why I continue to practice it and continue to poke and prod and experiment with it. Now, devotion is different from magic because I consider devotion to be more pervasive. Again, I go back to the analogy of the carpenter and the hammer. If magic is the tool I employ to achieve specific outcomes, then devotion is what I am 24/7. To be a devotee of Santa Muerte, to be a devotee of death, means to me that you are someone who acknowledges death on a daily basis, who acknowledges the power and mystery of death. As a devotee of Santa Muerte, I live and make decisions through the filter of death, just as a devotee of Christianity would ostensibly strive to live a life with the principles of Christianity at the top of mind, essentially living life through the filter of Christianity. Now, the reason I've explained all this is to address a fairly common question I've received, which is, do you have to be a devotee of Santa Muerte in order to petition her for help? In the tradition of Santa Muerte, the type of magic that we perform is magic of petition. So we petition for, or we request of the Santa Muerte, magical intercession. So essentially the question is, can we ask the Santa Muerte for help if we do not identify as devotees? Can we petition the Santa Muerte even if we do not acknowledge Santa Muerte on a daily basis or live our lives through that filter of death I just described? The short answer is yes. Again, with the analogy of the carpenter and the hammer, even though the hammer is a basic tool in the carpenter's toolbox, you do not need to be a carpenter to pick up a hammer. Almost anyone can learn how to use almost any kind of tool, and I think because of how adaptive it is and how personalized it can become, Magick, as well as Santa Muerte magic, is a tool that anyone can learn how to use. Remember that Santa Muerte, as death itself, accepts us all, and all means all. If you will one day die, then Santa Muerte, death, has already decided that you will not be overlooked. It is your mortality, the fact that you will one day die, that connects you to the energy of death and which makes something like Santa Muerte magic available to you. The tool is there for you to use. All you have to do is be willing to pick it up. Now, just as a user or practitioner of Santa Muerte magic does not need to be a devotee of Santa Muerte, neither does a devotee need to practice Santa Muerte magic. Devotion to Santa Muerte is capable of standing on its own as a philosophy for living, or as a filter through which you make decisions and live life in general, without the need to perform magic for specific outcomes. In a previous video, I explained that one of my foundational principles or foundational pillars of Santa Muerte devotion is that there is no wrong way to be a devotee of Santa Muerte. Again, if Santa Muerte accepts us all, and if all means all, then she must accept those devotees who choose to practice magic and those devotees who do not. With that, I think I'll start wrapping up this video. The primary points I want you to walk away with are that magic and devotion are two distinct ideas. Where devotion describes what you are and how you choose to live your life, magic is a tool that anyone can use. While there are some people who accept and practice both ideas, who are both Santa Muerte devotees and practitioners of Santa Muerte magic, there are plenty of people who only engage with one idea at a time, either magic or devotion. Ultimately, there is no rule which says how you should interact with Santa Muerte. If devotion is enough for you, that's fine, and if the magic is all you need, that's also fine. Like I said before, it is your mortality that connects you to the energy of Santa Muerte, and it is your mortality which should serve as sufficient proof that you are accepted by Santa Muerte, that you are accepted by death, and that you are free to practice Santa Muerte devotion and or Santa Muerte magic. Hopefully I've explained everything clearly, but as always, please reach out to me if you have any questions. There's the contact form on my website, as well as the Patreon messenger system and the Discord chat server. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.